here, and this time we're going to do Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran. This is going to be a great song for us to use to really be able to color up our piano playing. So let's jump right in. All right, first thing we're going to do is look at some chords. There's really only like 3 chord progressions that you're going to encounter in this song. One primary one, a secondary one that comes in the pre-chorus, and then there's one at the very end of the chorus. So let's look at the different chord progressions. All right, this right here is middle C. Okay, there is a link to this chart in the description, so go ahead and click on that. And here are the chords. So we're going to first play a D chord in our right hand with the A, D, and F sharp there, D down here in the bass, okay? So this is middle C, we're just right around middle C, almost 2 octaves below middle C in the left hand, okay? Second chord, D over F sharp, so we just simply raise the D to here, play the same chord in our right hand. Then we're going to go to a G chord here, okay, G in the bass, B, D, and G in the right hand, and then an A chord, okay, there with A in the left hand, A, C sharp, and E in the right hand, okay? So that's the chord progression. We're going to talk about the rhythm and how that all works a little bit later, but that's the basic chord progression that takes you through the verse and takes you through most of the chorus, okay? The pre-chorus has a chord progression where you'll be here, E minor, E in the bass, B, E, and G there, and then goes to an A just like we were before, and a D, so we've done those, and then E minor again, A, E minor, A, this time to a B minor chord, which is, you'll see, very similar to a D, but we're going to do B in the bass and A, B instead of A, B, D, and F sharp here, okay? And then back to the E minor, and then to the A. And that's what takes you into the chorus. The chorus is the same, with the exception at the very end of the chorus, there's this one last chord progression. This chord progression moves really fast. It's basically just 1 beat per chord, but you go B minor, A, G, D over F sharp. So it's almost like we're previewing or going back through all the chords we did before. E minor, A, and D. Okay, and it's 1 beat per chord, with the exception of the very last D. You do what's called a push. You hit the chord a little early, okay? So again, it goes like this. We found love right where we are, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, okay? That's the chord progression that you find at the very end. That's going to be one you have to practice, so you may want to circle back and keep working through those quick chord changes. But what I want to talk to you about is the rhythm and also how you can add some notes into your playing that's really going to help color up your piano playing, okay? First, rhythm. I mentioned already that this song has a push there at the end. It actually happens over and over again throughout that first chord progression, okay? So you hit on 1, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4. So that's called a push. You're going to it, going to the next chord a little early, okay? So you're actually moving on the and of 2. So it's 1, and of 2, 1, and of 2. 1 on the D, and of 2 on the F sharp, or the D over F sharp, G on 1, A on the and of 2. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4. Okay, and that's really happens throughout the entire song. Is part of what makes the song such a fun song to listen to. Okay, so there's that rhythm. It happens again in the pre-chorus. Okay, so people fall in love in mysterious ways. So there's the push on the D. Maybe that's all part of the plan. Okay, same chords there, or no push on those. Da, na, 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 na. The B minor. Okay, just want you here how I am. And then on this part, on the A, he hits it like the 8th notes. Honey, okay, so you kind of drive that A there, and then that takes you into the chorus. And I already mentioned that, whatever the chords are there at the end of that chorus and how the rhythm goes with that, okay? So those are some tips on the rhythm. And now let's talk about some color notes that you can add to make it sound even better. Alright, so in some of my videos I've talked about inversions, okay? I want to show you how you can use inversions to get to different notes. So I've been in this inversion, this is the D I'm playing, okay? You can do the D down here, okay? This is a different inversion or arrangement of the D, and it takes you to different chords. Okay, notice our G chord is a little different there, so dun, dun. Alright? That actually frees me up to play different notes, because what I want to add is I'm going to add some color notes, and the notes that I'm going to add are what are called the 2 or the 6 of each chord. So let's talk about what the 2 and the 6 are. So on a D chord, this is 1, this is 2, the E right there, okay? So you can add that, the E, the 2, to add some color, and then 3, 4, 5, this is the 5, and this is the 6, okay? So the 6 on a D chord would be E and B, and you can throw those notes in to add some color, okay? So then when I get to the G chord, the 2 is an A and it is an E, okay? So if my inversion has me up here, it's easy for me to get to the 6 right there. If my inversion has me down here, it's easy for me to get to the 2, okay? And then on the A chord, the 2 is the B and the 6 is the F sharp. So you use those to add a little bit of color. Let me show you an example. Okay, so if I start in this version up here, it's going to help me. I'm going to be with this G chord and I'm going to use it to play that 6. Okay, so like this. Okay, so you can see there how that inversion allows me to get to the 6 there, and then I'm also right here, and as I leave my thumb over going to the A, that's the 2 of A, and so I can accent that as I make my way to the A chord there as well, okay? Notice the difference now. If I do the inversion here, I'm going to do the 2 of the G chord, okay? Notice I was able to get to the 2 of the A chord also because it's also right there in that area, okay? And so that's how you add some color. One last thing I want to show you now is you can rotate between different inversions. So I have this inversion which allows me to be here. If I use this inversion, it allows me to be here. If I were to jump up here to this inversion, okay, it would put me here on my G chord and then here on my A chord. Okay, which is, it's still good, it's just the, it's hard for me to get to the 2 of the A unless I go up there. If I'm here, I can do the 6 of the G chord there, okay? But those are the 3 inversions of the D chord, and each one allows me to do something different. So what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to use different inversions, and I'm going to jump in between them as I add little accents. So I might even start way up here, and then come down here, and move my hand around and get to those 2s and 6s in the chords as I make my way. Okay, so something like this. So you see there how I'm moving around through the different inversions of the chords, and I'm choosing the 2 or the 6 depending on what's closer to my hand and what chord I'm on. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That's a great tip for really coloring up your piano playing and taking it to the next level. Please let me know what songs you would like to learn, any suggestions you might have or requests. Don't forget to jump over to Amazon and check out my book, a piano chord book you can actually use. It's also a great resource as you learn how to play the piano. Please give me that like and that subscribe. I want you to know every time a new video drops. And thank you again, guys. God bless you, and we'll see you next time.